Welcome, everybody, to another live show. Replay viewers, let me know in the comments if you're watching on the replay. Give me a capital RP or just Team Replay in the comments. It is so great to see you. We got some enormous Cash Money G, Fani Willis news. Holy macadamia nut, as if she just couldn't get hotter and spicier, as if there couldn't be more drama for your mama. We got a whole lot more. Come on in, come on in. It's so great to see everybody here. Come on in, come on in. How is everybody doing? Let me know in the comments where you're joining me from. Super chats, super stickers, and new members. Stick around to the end. I'm going to give you all a huge live stream shout out as well. If we have enough time, members, we're going to do a members only live Q&A at the end. So stick around for that. So great to see you. But first, it's Prime Day. It's primary day, primary election day. If you voted today, let me know in the comments. But, Cash Money G, it's so funny. She's never active on X, formerly known as Twitter. By the way, follow me. I'm Professor Nez on Twitter, X. She's never active on X. But of course, when there's something in it for her, boy, oh boy, oh boy, is she active. And what's in it for her? She's up for re-election. So is Judge McAfee. So is a lot of people across our great country. By the way, if you want to get our country back, what I want you to do is give me a yeah in the comments, but also it takes you less than a second. Tap that thumbs up. Why? Because when you tap the thumbs up, it tells the algorithm to share this. Hey, maybe some more people would like this video. Look how many people have tapped the thumbs up. It takes you less than a second. Please do that. Replay viewers, that goes for you too. If you want to get your country back, because I do my own due diligence, my own qualitative, quantitative research to make sure that you get the objective truth. Everything that mainstream media doesn't cover. So it's election day. And she's got a couple of challengers. Cash Money G has a couple of challengers that she's facing for this primary election before November. And one of her challengers, Christian Wise Smith, had this to say. Check this out.
On May 15th, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis received a letter from the United States Senate highlighting her misuse of $500,000 for a youth empowerment and gang prevention center and $2 million for the sexual assault kit initiative. Instead, she spent those funds on traveling. In light of potential prosecution and disbarment, I respectfully ask Fani Willis to resign, effective immediately.
Wow, wow, wow. Respectfully asking Cash Money G, Fani Willis, to resign. You guys remember we did an entire video on that misappropriation of taxpayer funds. Today, I'm gonna share a couple of things, and I can't wait for you guys to comment on this. Excuse me. Let me get a little water. Couple of things that I'm going to be talking about. Number one, I'm going to play for you this explosive interview where she literally does not hold back at all. She goes on the Rachel Maddow show and just absolutely unleashes on everybody, all her critics, everybody who's ever said anything about her that she didn't like, essentially. I'm gonna walk you through that interview. Stick around for that. But also, I'm going to share with you this trailer. I mean, it was really, really strange. This like full-on production movie trailer almost, which I've never seen a prosecutor get that high quality production, cinematography. I'm going to share that with you as well, which I thought was really, really interesting. But first, we're going to get a visit from our old friend. Yeah, we're going to get a friendly visit from Representative Jasmine. I embarrass myself at every turn. Crockett. I want to show you. Oh, my goodness gracious. I want to show you what Miss Crockett had to say about people coming after her friend. And by the way, if you're surprised, are you surprised by her saying that Cash Money G is her friend? Holy macadamia nut. She is going after Ghetto Crockett. Yes, Captain Mike, it's so good to see you. The best mod in the house. Good to see you, Captain Mike. She actually stands up for her friend Cash Money G at this interview at this House Democrat event. Check this out right here, what Ghetto Crockett has to say.
Oh God, I don't even know why you started here with me. All the things that I can say. Let me tell you something. For those that don't know what privilege looks like, it is playing out in front of your face because you have a Black woman who is educated, who is doing her job, who is elected, who has never been accused of being a criminal, right? But for whatever reason, she's on
Not yet. The key word there is not yet. She will, trust me.
trial because she's actually trying to do her job. So for once, we don't really want the prosecutor to do the prosecution. For once. But usually we do, right? But it's only because of who's on the other side of that prosecution. And so for those that want to pretend as if we don't have racism, for those that want to pretend like there is no such thing as white privilege, that's not the case. Because as a former public defender, I never had anybody that had 91 counts. I think the most of anybody that I've had probably had close to 40 counts or something. And let me tell you, he never got out of jail. Like once he went in, he wasn't able to post bail.
Is it just me, or does she like change her sort of, when she wants to come across as professional and astute, she starts talking like this? Well, I don't agree and I don't concur with that assessment. But then all of a sudden, when she's around, people of color or African Americans or Black people, or even, when she gets really, really angry, I don't know which one's the true, will the real Crockett stand up? I don't know who it is, but all of a sudden she starts getting into like, y'all. She starts turning into Cash Money G. It's like that sort of Ebonics, street talk, I don't know, jiving.
And then I've had people in multiple jurisdictions because I'm licensed on the state level, federal level in multiple states. And so I've had people that have been kind of caught up. This dude is in 4 different jurisdictions and somehow he's still walking free. Now you go see if your cousin can do that and holler back at me. It's not going to happen. So I have a lot of issues, but I also have an issue with the.
And then she's back to her, which one's the phony accent? Now she's back to, all of a sudden she's back to her astute, normal accent. I don't get it.
Fact that they don't really care about the substance of what they're going after. This isn't substance that they're going after with Fani. What they want to do is they want to tear her down. It's what they continuously do to Black women.
Wow. Victim mentality, playing the race card. There's no substance. Oh, all of a sudden they want to go after her. All of a sudden, because of who she's going after, they want to go after her. No, actually, it was very accidental. Everything was very, very accidental. Michael Roman, who was in contact with Terrence Bradley, who was law partners with Nathan Wade, and they got into this text exchange. It was all very accidental. You mean to tell me they had an affair? You mean to tell me she misappropriated tax funds and went on vacation to Aruba, Jamaica? Ooh, I'm gonna take you to prison in a jumpsuit. Bye, Cash Money G. I love that. I have to do that song every time that comes up because it's just so perfect. No. This was all accidental. As a matter of fact, we were very fortunate that this stuff came to light, that you have done nothing for Fulton County, that you have committed crime after crime. You lied under oath. You stole taxpayer money to take advantage of kids, take advantage of youth programs, as Christian Wise Smith, your challenger for this seat in the Democratic race in this primary, said so eloquently. You have lied under oath, committed perjury. You've done everything not on the up and up. You've got a backlog of over 50,000 criminal cases. You have zero oversight, over $30 million budget. But no, it's because she's Black. But no, she's the victim. But no, it's because of, she's on the side of right. And the power people, it's those power people. It's those white people. They're just oppressing her and they're just stopping her. When is this going to end? When is this going to stop? Check out this insanely, you want to talk about a misappropriation of taxpayer dollars. I don't even know. if you've seen something like this, I would really love to hear from you in the comments, because I can tell you, I don't think I've ever seen a political ad. This is over 3 minutes long. And she posted this on her X account. This is her commercial, her ad for the 2024 re-election campaign. And I want you to watch this, and then we'll talk about it, because this to me is pretty unreal. And I'm just wondering now to myself now, I'm wondering, how much of this has she actually stolen? How much of this, like, who paid for this? I want to know who paid for this ad, because I guarantee you it was not cheap. Check this out.
Every time I walk into a courtroom, I am underestimated. But that can be a powerful thing. They never see it coming. 4 years ago, when I took office, crime in Fulton County was out of control. There had been a gang war going on for years. When George Floyd was murdered, that was a disgusting tragedy after so many other disgusting tragedies. Community trust with law enforcement was broken. The district attorney's office was completely broken.
No justice! No peace!
At every angle, there were problems.
Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up!
My father lived through many atrocities in the civil rights movement. There was actually a sit-in protest. While they were sitting at that counter, a white man spat on him.
He spit right on top of my head, and I could feel the tobacco juice just dripping down the side of my face. And I was just so enraged.
That man was offended by African Americans being treated equally and having the right to vote.
Okay, I just want to stop this because there's a lot of this, but are we noticing a pattern here in Nez Nation? Are we noticing? I mean, it's like, has she once talked about, okay, so we're already, hold on a second. This is so important, you guys. This is why I keep saying you got to share this out. You got to tap that thumbs up, because there are people out there that just nod their head and go, yeah, wow, very true. You are oppressed. You are a victim. Oh my goodness, you are a slave. Let me just say something. We are already halfway through this ad. Have you heard one policy? I dare you, I defy you to list one policy that Fani Willis has talked about and listed and conveyed here in order to garner votes. Have you heard one initiative that she's going to launch? Why are we just talking about something that happened over 70 years ago? Yes, it was awful. Yes, segregation. Yes, the way that people of color were treated was abominable. Yes, we already know that. Now, we're in 2024. What are you going to do now? What are you standing on? And yet what Crockett said earlier, no, this is the party. They don't have any substance. They don't have any evidence. They just want to go after her because she's black. Are we waking up yet, America? It's the same thing that Biden did, okay? It's the same exact thing that Biden did in his speech. It was the most divisive, racially charged, fomenting of chaos that Tombstone Biden, vegetable in chief, said at his Morehouse College commencement speech just yesterday. It was the most egregious. Or maybe it was over the weekend. I can't remember. But he literally, instead of bringing the country together, what he essentially said was, President Trump doesn't care about black people. You guys are oppressed. You guys are victims. And I'm going to change all that. He thinks we're stupid. Commie Kamala thinks we're stupid. Greasy Gavin Newsom thinks we're stupid. Weasel Schiff thinks we're stupid. Pushing up Daisy's Pelosi thinks we're stupid. Crockett, Letitia Big Shame James, Alvin Do Nothing Bragg, and Fannie Cash Money G. They all think we're stupid. I haven't heard one policy.
I stand here on the shoulders of great people. My father and others, they fought and some died for the right to vote. Being born into the movement taught me some real core values. Everybody is entitled to some dignity. What we are doing is a balanced approach. We are prosecuting the most violent criminals while making sure that we save children and we give first-time offenders a second chance. I've launched a number of programs that help children and adults. If I can solve crime by seeing children in the classroom and not the courtroom, then that is a great success. I'm unapologetic about going after gangs very vigorously to remove them from our community.
Okay, so she's essentially said two things that I don't even know if you could call them initiatives or programs or any specificity. But wait a minute, you mean to tell me that putting kids in school is a good thing? Huh, okay, pretty obvious. Oh, going after gangs is a good thing? Okay, what have you been doing this whole time? Why is there a backlog? Remember the Georgia Senate a committee that was headed by Senator Bill Cowsert, where he questioned Mr. Pitts, the county commissioner, and the chief financial officer, Ms. Whitmore, and said, why is there this tens of thousands of backlog? Yes, Jenny Jen, well said. Her voice is so painful to hear. You can just hear the narcissism oozing out of every breath, the hubris. She doesn't care about anybody but herself, y'all. And then wait till I show you this Maddow catastrophe. But let's finish this. Not one, I mean, specific. It's obvious you want to get gangs off the street. It's obvious you want to put kids through school.
Fani Willis
cracks down on gangs and drugs.
Homicides are down more than 21%. Violent crime is down more than 25%. We have the third largest crime drop in America. People deserve to live free from crime. Women pushed around too long deserve to be free from fear. It is very important to me to defend every citizen of Fulton County's civil rights and their right to be safe. It doesn't matter to me how violent you are. I am not going to back down from prosecuting those that are wealthy or powerful. As all the attacks come at me, they don't understand what I'm built from, what fire I come from. I'm Fani Willis. Like I said before, I am always underestimated, but that can be a powerful thing. How powerful? If you break the law in Fulton County, you will be brought to justice.
I mean, why is this? I feel like I need to hear the voice. Now coming to a theater near you, Fani Willis, Fulton County District Attorney. You thought you knew her. They underestimated her. They never gave her a chance. They don't know what kind of fire she's from. They have no idea how she was brought up. But she's coming for you, Fulton County. Coming this summer, Fani Willis. Tickets now available. It's like, what is going on? How much money did you blow, Cash Money? I'm really curious. How much money did you blow on this ad? This is literally a film trailer. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. There is not one iota of factual, data-driven specificities, a plan, a blueprint, a strategy. Hey, guess what? If you elect me, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do step A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to take care of this. I know this is an issue. It's all about her. It's all about her. They underestimated me. They didn't. Are we seeing a pattern here in Nez Nation? The exorbitant self-interest, self-absorption, the absolute unbridled narcissism of this woman. But no, it's because I'm Black. I lied under oath. I misappropriated taxpayer funds. I hired somebody who wasn't qualified, which, by the way, as Senator Cowsert pointed out, I hired somebody on a part-time basis, a contract special prosecuting attorney, which has never been done in Fulton County District Attorney history. That's a little weird. And then I went on all these cruises. I went on all these vacations. But wait, there's more. I mean, it's unreal. So this is something that I really, this is kind of the brunt of what I want to kind of share with you. Sorry, I didn't mean to play that right away. But So she did this interview. She did this interview with Rachel Maddow recently. And I mean, what Maddow says, how she characterizes Cash Money G. To me, this is desperation personified. It's desperation personified. The radical woke left mafia. Okay, they know they're going to lose the hush money trial. Jack Smith's trial fell apart because he lied. Letitia Big Shame James, I mean, had zero grounds for going after Trump for the evaluation of Mar-a-Lago. And now this Georgia interference election case with Cash Money G, it's rife with corruption. It's rife with politicalization and weaponization of that criminal justice system. Meanwhile, there's a backlog of tens of thousands. Can you imagine the people who've been waiting for years to get their case finally heard? And all she wants to do, because she knows it's, by the way, has anybody ever heard of Fani Willis before she went after Trump? Has anybody ever, unless you live in Fulton County, unless you happen to be her cousin, do you think anybody ever even heard of Fulton County before she went after Trump? This put her on the map. She loved the notoriety. She loved the fame. She loved the attention. So what did she do? She got $36 million from Mr. Pitts and the county commission. Zero oversight. She took advantage of taxpayer funds. She misappropriated forfeiture funds. She hired people that shouldn't have been hired, paying them $1 million salaries. And she neglected the people of Fulton County. These are people who've waited maybe, let's just say months, most of them years, to finally get their case heard. But because she loves power and the retention of power, I've said this many times in multiple videos, pretty much every video, that's all the woke-minded left care about. They only care about one thing: power and retention of power. That's all they care about. What does she do? She devotes all of that budget, if not 80 to 75% of it, to herself and to resources. She calls them resources to go after the former president on a charge and grounds that every legal scholar, that every legal expert has said is absurd. Absolutely absurd. And so the reason I'm sharing this is because we have to expose these people. There are people out there. She has a huge following. Rachel Maddow has a huge following. I said this earlier this morning on X. I think that she is one of the most dangerous individuals in politics, period. I couldn't believe some of the things I was hearing come out of her mouth. I couldn't believe some of the things she called Fani Willis, some of the things she claimed people were doing to her. And then wait till you hear her response. It is absurd. So she starts off with this insane, obscure Nazi spy agent story that happened in the 1940s, and how all these right-wing political power people suppressed the story and got rid of the prosecutor. And that is absolutely treasonous. That is an absolute miscarriage of justice. That is weaponizing that is politicizing and weaponizing the criminal justice system, etc., etc. And then she connects that. She connects this obscure, it's from the, I mean, if you watched it, let me know. Replay viewers, live viewers, let me know in the comments if you watched it. City Kitty Girl, I couldn't agree more. City Kitty Girl says her whole show is clickbait. I couldn't agree more. It's not only clickbait, though, it's dangerous, because there's actually millions of people out there that go, wow, that was a masterclass. I even heard somebody on X today say that. Wow, Rachel Maddow put on a masterclass today. She just did an amazing job. And wow, the stuff she said about Cash Money G. What? It's absurd. It's insanity. It's bonkers. It is misinformation with a capital M. But far more than that, It's dangerous because there's not one iota of balanced reporting, not one iota. Yes, what happened in the 1940s with this obscure story that nobody's ever heard of? Yes, of course, we don't want to harbor spies. Of course not. And yes, the Nazis are bad. Yes, racism is bad. We know all that. Now tell us something with substance. Tell us something that you're going to do today in 2024. They can't. They just can't. And so she starts going, thank you, Glace. I love seeing new people here. Thank you. I really, really appreciate you. If you want your country back, I mean this with every fiber of my being. If you want your country back, please tap that thumbs up. It sends a signal to the algorithm to push our video out. Everybody, replay viewers, I see you sitting there with Cheetos in your lap watching me. I love you. Love you, Des Nation. Please tap the thumbs up now. I need it. Hit that thumbs up. So I'm going to kind of fast forward and play different parts of this, but it's so important to deconstruct this. Remember, I have been a scholar and I've taught Aristotle's principles of rhetoric for years. And it really comes down to three things. It's really the awareness of language choices. When you understand how somebody is wielding the most powerful thing on planet Earth, words. Words are more powerful. The pen is mightier than the sword. And you understand their purpose, you understand who they're trying to reach, and you understand the message, you'll never be fooled again, ever. This is important.
The Stormy Daniels pay to cover up the affair hush money case. This is the only one that's going to go to trial before the election? Really? It wasn't supposed to be the first one. Remember what was going to be the first one? What was going to be the first one was a trial of Donald Trump for the big issue, right? For him trying to throw out the results of the 2020 election so he could stay in power even though he lost. Prosecutors asked the judge to start this trial 2 months ago. The first trial date they asked for was in early March 2024. That was going to be first. What happened to that? Well, when it emerged, January 2021, that there was a recording of Trump live on the phone demanding that Georgia officials falsify the election results and declare him the winner. When everybody heard that tape, everybody over the age of 0 in this country knew that there would have to be a criminal investigation of that.
He said, find me the votes. He didn't say create them. He said, find them. And now, this is so beautiful. By the way, this happened literally 24 hours ago. So she knows. Her entire platform, her entire network knows about the fraud that just was exposed and just came out about the Georgia State Election Board, where they're missing 500,000 votes. And you're going to play. This is what you're going to do. You're going to actually use this Washington Post article from January 3rd, 2021. You're going to use this article to back up your claim. Are you nuts?
I mean, that very much sounded like the commission of a very obvious crime on tape. The district attorney in the county where the phone call took place then opened that criminal investigation. Of course she did. How could she not have? But then what happened, right? They opened the floodgates on her in a way that is underappreciated in this country. First thing they did, Republicans in the state legislature decided that for the first time in the history of that state, they needed to give themselves a new power. They needed to give themselves the power to remove prosecutors from their jobs, even in the middle of a case. Now, Republicans in the Georgia state legislature never wanted that power before now in the whole history of the state. But now that Trump's under investigation for a crime, now they want that new power.
Incorrect. That's a lie. The reason they invoked this, and also with the Georgia State Committee, is actually because of Ahmaud Arbery's case, and it was over some white DAs, not black DAs. Has nothing to do with race. Even though you want to play that card for the rest of your life, it has absolutely nothing to do with race. You myopic, brainless, toothless, mindless, race-baiting lunkhead. Has nothing to do with that. As a matter of fact, it started with Ahmaud Arbery, and it actually has to do with oversight of white DAs, maybe doing something a little untoward. So she's wrong about literally everything she reports.
This new law giving themselves that power, they passed it in such a rush, it suffered from what you might charitably call constitutional infirmities. They then had to pass it again, so they did. And in so doing, they created a board with all Republican appointees. It has a brand new power under the laws of the state of Georgia to discipline and remove prosecutors in the middle of their cases. A power they never had before, never wanted before, not before Fani Willis brought a case against Donald Trump. But that was only the start. Led by one of the Republicans who served as a fake elector in Georgia, Republicans in that state then formed a Georgia Senate Special Committee on Investigations. Oh, what investigations are they wanting to do? They are specifically investigating Fani Willis. They formed a new committee just for that purpose. The head of that new committee to investigate Fani Willis went to the Georgia State Republican Convention this weekend to brag about how he's about to subpoena her, to testify under oath and force her to hand over evidence to the Republicans in the Georgia State Senate.
If you don't have anything to hide, Cash Money G, notice how Maddow doesn't say one thing about the way she acted in court, the interviews that she's given, the way she polluted a potential jury pool making that speech at church, and the very recent endorsement by the black church where she just nodded her head when one of the pastors said that Donald Trump is evil. She has done everything in her power to absolutely corrupt and pollute any sense of impartiality and fairness that every citizen is entitled to, even if you're the former president of the United States. She's done everything in her power. That's why Judge McAfee put in his ruling, which he went so soft. He should have absolutely disqualified her and disbarred her and even prosecuted her. So what does he do? Oh, no, you can stay, but your lover boy has to go. What about the fact, Rachel, Mad Cow Maddow, what about the fact that she lied under oath? She committed perjury. What about the misappropriation of taxpayer funds? What about using forfeiture funds to fund vacations? What about lying about having an affair? What about everything that she's done in every single public appearance? Do I even need to bring up the fact that she skipped out on the debates? And instead, she allowed for her challengers to debate an empty podium. And what did she do? She ran to cocktails and conversations in Miami so they could give her some fake award that means absolutely nothing instead of serving her people. Yet she's the noble one. If you've got nothing to hide, why are you not? Why do you have to be forced to subpoena? If you didn't do anything wrong, why not be the first person to show up to this Senate committee and say, you know what, forget Ashley Merchant, forget Mr. Pitts, forget the chief financial officer. I'm here. Ask me any question you want. I will let you look at all of my files, which she is a public officer. She works for the people. Transparency is supposed to be the highest ideal and principle in her vocation. But is it? Of course not. And now, on one of the most public platforms in our country, we have this treasonous snake, Rachel Mad Cow Maddow, actually propping this vile, corrupt, narcissistic megalomaniac, Cash Money G. Can you believe this? This is why dissecting and deconstructing, using rhetorical principles of Aristotle over 2,000 years ago, this is why I say we got to get our country back. These guys are full of rot gut, period. Full of it. I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
They're characterizing it as a financial concern. But he's been very explicit that the financial concern he has is that she's expending financial resources on the Trump prosecution.
Yeah, all $36 million. There's no oversight. She's been caught taking vacation after vacation. She paid somebody who was unqualified, her ex-lover boy, who she knew was married, which, again, you know, if you're some sort of moral stalwart, I go to church. I found God. God is on my side. But, you know, I knew he was married and I still cheated on him. I'll go to church on Sunday and ask for forgiveness. Oh, well.
Republicans at the county level in Georgia are now saying they want to put her office through an audit. A Republican member of Congress from Georgia has filed an ethics complaint against her. The Republican chairman of the House Judiciary Committee in Washington, Republican Congressman Jim Jordan, has opened an investigation of her in Washington as well, and has subpoenaed her, and is now threatening to hold her in contempt of Congress, threatening to put her in jail. And now 2 Republican U.S. senators are jumping in as well. Senator,
if you've got nothing to hide, so what? Why are you not giving up the documents? It's very simple. He sent a letter saying, hey, we're just kind of curious. We want to see what's going on here. You're supposed to be transparent. You claim you're transparent. Why don't you give us the doc? She didn't give him the documents in time. She should be held in contempt.
Ron Johnson and Chuck Grassley just announcing a few days ago that they, too, are going to open a new investigation of this Georgia prosecutor, Fani Willis, this time opening this investigation in the United States setting. They have created a maelstrom of political harassment and pressure, bringing it down to bear on this one prosecutor like a laser, because she brought this case against someone of their party who has political power.
Wrong. That is so myopic. That is so one-sided. That is so skewed. That is so dangerously wrong. It's just dangerous. It's poisonous. The lying is just, it's overflowing here. Why don't you talk about everything that they found on her, Rachel Maddow?
This is Republicans using their political power to try to shut off the legal system, to try to shut off the rule of law here so it cannot be used against their guy, against Trump.
Their own person, McAfee, put odor of mendacity in the ruling.
Let's get real about this.
Yeah.
And take it seriously. Because what's going on here is they are taking apart the judicial system. They are fundamentally changing the judiciary in the state, in the entire state, all to protect this one powerful defendant in their own party, whom she had the temerity to charge. Fani Willis is ably defending herself. She is good at this.
Oh, you mean, it's a lie. It's a lie. How dare you? No. Daddy doesn't need to watch me. Isn't it funny how, no, Daddy, they're coming. The Trump train is coming. That's ably defending herself.
And she knew what she was walking into. But this story for all of us, this is not a profile in courage. This is a profile in cowardice. This is a profile in failure and neglect by us, by the country. Because the reason she is out there defending herself so ably is because nobody else is defending her. She's standing alone against all of this. The rule of law depends on the people who enforce it being able to enforce it, even when those who are implicated in it that there is a sort of good faith instinct. Ton of inappropriate political pressure, improper craving, and bring bogus allegations and charges against them. It is you who are breaking.
Wait. Bogus allegations and charges? Let me ask you a question, Rachel Maddow. Are you telling me, and are you telling the American public, it's okay to lie under oath? It's okay to commit perjury? Are you saying it's okay to steal hard-working Georgians and Fulton County residents' taxpayer funds and go to Aruba, Jamaica? Ooh, I'm going to take you to Bahama, yo mama, and do whatever I want with yo mama? Is that what you're saying?
The American legal system. Half of Donald Trump. Up until now, they are paying no cost for it. You know, noble alternate version of this history that we'd like to imagine we would be part of. The whole country would be up in arms about Georgia and about New York and about all of these cases, telling these people to back off the judges, back off the witnesses and the jurors, back off the prosecutors, back off Fani Willis, protect these cases, protect the rule of law. We imagine that's who we are as a country, but we are not showing it. We are not standing up to defend these people. At least, not yet. Let me start by...
Okay, before we get to the actual interview, I mean, it's just it's unreal to me that, and believe you me, there are people who are, oh, she's so eloquent. Oh, look at the language she uses. Look, it's the same crap that they fell for with Hussein Obama. It's the same crap. Let me tell you something. I'm going to leave you with this, and then we're going to get right into the interview. And then, by the way, super chats, new members, stick around. You get a live shout out. Members, we're going to do a live Q&A, members only at the end. Consider becoming a member. Links in the comments, description, and show notes. There is no connection. Okay. Eloquence is not synonymous with intelligence. Let me say that again. Eloquence is not synonymous with intelligence. Just because she is able to manipulate the narrative and use these $6 million words sometimes doesn't mean she's intelligent. That's how Obama fooled the entire country. What they're doing right now is desperation. If you're propping up somebody as crooked, I honestly, look, I think Trump has a huge ego. I think you have to have a huge ego to be successful in some respects. I don't mean you have to be this cruel, heartless, sociopath, which I don't think he is by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, I think you do have to have an ego. I have an ego. A lot of people who are successful have egos. Everything that they're saying about Trump, about his ego, his megalomania, his narcissism, I will go on the record on my eyes. I will say Cash Money G has 100 times more of that narcissism, ego, starving for attention, self-absorption than Trump ever will. I mean that sincerely with all my being. And you're propping her up without ever showcasing, again, balanced reporting, without ever showing what she did under oath, how she carried herself in court, storming in there like some belligerent, crooked, crazed, hysterical lunatic, demanding to be heard, demanding to be put under oath, yelling and calling Ashley Merchant a liar, acting a fool in front of the entire world in that courtroom. Never mind all of the actual violations, all the actual crimes she committed, but just the fact that why don't you show some clips from that disqualification hearing, Rachel Maddow? What did I call her? Mad cow? My glasses are fogging up because I'm getting so heated. I mean, this stuff just right. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think of what I'm saying? And if you haven't seen the entire segment, I think I couldn't find it. I think they actually tore it down. I watched the whole thing last night and I was just laughing. It was comedy to me. It was pure comedy to me, what I was watching last night. She went into this elaborate, and she thinks she's so cringe. Type cringe right now in the comments. Replay viewers, live viewers, give me capital cringe. That describes Rachel Madcow better than anything. Cringe. You're just like, oh. She's like, you know how I do weird things sometimes? Ugh. That stupid smile of hers. That self-smug, self-satisfied smile of hers. I like that even better, Kaylee. Cringe AF. Cringe is F. I love it. Oh, that's so good. Yes. You know how I do that weird thing in the beginning of the show? Well, here, I'm going to do another one. Just bear with me. She goes into this elaborate talk about this stupid Nazi 1940s story of how these people in power, they got rid of the prosecution because they were going after one of their friends. And here I give you superhero Cash Money G. Who falls for this crap? Who falls for this crap? It's insane. Okay, are you ready for the main course now? If you're ready, give me a yeah in the chat. This is the main course. I want you to see unhinged, unleashed, straight savage mode turned on, Cash Money G. Willis. And let's talk about this. Oh my goodness gracious. It's just insanity.
Asking you about what your life has been like and how things have changed over the course of this past year. I know you have bodyguards. I know you had to leave your home because of ongoing threats against you. I saw footage last week at an event honoring the South Fulton police. You got a little bit emotional, thanking the police for having kept you safe in what has been a remarkably threatening environment for you. I wondered what effect the sort of constant threat of violence that you've been living with has had on.
Is Rachel Maddow an actor? Oh, that little sigh right there. I wonder. It's so hard for me to ask this question. I feel your pain. Is she like, again, the Oscar goes to?
On you and on your ability to do your work.
Thank you for asking. Not many people ask about what is the personal journey that's been going on. And it really hasn't been happening in the last year. It's been happening since about a month after I took office. From the time I took office, I began to get threats. Those threats come in the way of emails. Those threats come in the way of phone calls, text messages, any which way you can imagine. At some point, the threats became where I had to leave my home. And I've been out of my home since the first year in office. They've come from a variety of sources. One of the first things that ever happened was there was a protest at my house at 5 o'clock in the morning. People mad because the last administration had left police cases, lots of them, and they wanted immediate action on them. And so that was the first thing that kind of happened. But the threats have certainly been about lots of different kinds of cases that I've prosecuted. People are very unhappy with them because of some recent cases that most of them are racial in nature. It has cost me to leave my home financially. I'm paying for, my mortgage because I refuse to give up the home where I raise my children, but also paying for another establishment. And I have 24-hour really protection around me. So it's a very interesting way to live, but it's well worth it. To have the honor of being the first female district attorney in Fulton County, it pales in comparison to what my victims are going through. And the reality is, one of the reasons we are upsetting people is we are so successful here in Fulton County. I have the third largest crime drop in America. We have it because we're taking a balanced approach, both unapologetically going after gangs and violent criminals and anyone who should violate the law in my county, but we're also doing programs. And so it has been a huge sacrifice, but it's well worth it for my community.
We spoke, you did an interview with me earlier in your tenure, and we talked about what it was like to become a national lightning rod and to attract not just all the attention that a district place like Fulton County is always going to get locally for all of the important issues that affect the people of Fulton County, but to become a household name around the country.
Oh, she loves that. That's her bread and butter. She loves being a lightning rod.
Including by people who decided they were going to make your life hell for having brought one particularly very high-profile case. Do you feel like you've changed over the course of this term in office, over the course of this 4 years, in terms of having to develop new skills, new resources, develop a thicker skin than you might not have expected when you took this case 20?
Oh, poor you. Did you have to, what kind of a stupid question is that? Did you learn new skills on how to promote yourself and how to be Insta famous? Did you have to learn new skills to navigate paparazzi and navigate people who actually hold you accountable because you're like a thug and a crook? Did you have to learn new skills? Yeah, she had to learn how to be a better crook.
When you ascended to office January 1st, 2020.
This job has certainly made me closer to God because you have to go into prayer often. So that's just the truth. So that's a positive, right?
Does God teach for you to steal people's money and bury them underneath your house or whatever you said? I don't do checks. I don't do checks. I only do cash because I'm Cash Money G. Does God teach you to steal taxpayer funds and go on vacation and hire your mistress, Nathan American Pie Wade, and go to Aruba, Jamaica, and all those places? Is that what God teaches? What kind of principles are those? What kind of values are those? Does God teach you to lie under oath?
When you're getting closer to God. But I can't explain to you how much I love the work that I do. I can't explain to you how love.
In other words, she loves the fame and notoriety.
I feel by my community. You really should feel sorry for those that are trying to deter me from my work. It doesn't do anything but motivate me to continue to work and to work hard. And so I'm not someone that's going to be broken, but certainly it has caused me to get thicker skin or to be more resilient, to dig deeper, to work harder. But what it has
to never take accountability, to never admit that I'm wrong, to never admit that, you know what, maybe I should step back. If this is really for the better of the country, you know, Judge McAfee's already said there's an odor of mendacity. There's zero impartiality. There's zero propriety. It's completely or impropriety. You're supposed to show impropriety. There's complete propriety here, and you are completely damaging every chance of this case being fair and impartial. There is no fair and impartiality. If it's good, if it's for the good of the people, if it's for the good of America, the good for your Fulton County constituents, why don't you just get lost? I don't want her to get lost, but you know, she should do the right thing.
It's not done is deter me from my work.
Let me ask you about an interesting development that happened with a former Democratic governor of Georgia, Governor Roy Barnes. It emerged over the course of the Trump case and some of the forgive me, the mishigas around that, that you had asked Governor Barnes if he would consider joining the prosecution as special counsel in that case. And it emerged that he said no, saying, quote, I wasn't going to live with bodyguards for the rest of my life, which is a commentary on what it takes to be part of the legal system in this era, taking on politically powerful people. But Governor Barnes, as far as I understand it, has since offered that if the Republican-controlled legislature in Georgia comes after you with this new investigative committee that they seem to have formed specifically to come after you, with some of the other ways that they seem to be targeting you, that if you need legal representation of a specialty form as part of the way they're coming after you through the legislature, that he will represent you in those matters. I just wanted to ask if that's your understanding and what you make of that, those interactions that you've had with former Governor Barnes.
No, Governor Barnes is my attorney. They have decided in Georgia that they would like to come over after me. They use false reasons for wanting to come after me. I don't know if you remember, and I believe we talked about it last time. Georgia had never had a prosecutorial oversight committee, and all of a sudden, 14 minorities were elected to office to serve as district attorney. And now all of a sudden they need an oversight committee to look after district attorneys because they want to tell us how to prosecute and who to prosecute and where we should put our resources.
No. Hold up. Time out. Can I get a TO? Ref, can I get 20? Can I get 20? Playing the race card. Good old Cash Money G. It's all about race because we're black. Because there's all these minorities now in power, because we got elected. Now they want to have an oversight committee. No. It's because you've been caught being a thug and being a crook. You were caught red-handed using taxpayer funds for your own selfish reasons. That's why they're like, you know what? Maybe let's just look into this a little bit. You mean to tell me she's using all of the hard-earned taxpayer funds of the Fulton County residents to go on vacation? To hire her lover, to do all sorts of crooked and self-absorbed and narcissistic things? Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Maybe we should actually take a step back. That's what happens when people commit egregious violations. People who actually want to do the right thing institute new legislature. That's what it's all about. That's America, sweetheart. You got caught red-handed being a thug. Being the thug that you are. And now you're, oh my gosh. No, it has nothing to do with you being black. It has to do with you being a crook. It has nothing to do with you being black. Stop playing the race card. I mean, the race card is like 2009. Are we still using the race card here? Well, when you've got nothing to stand on, when you've got zero policy, zero track record, zero credibility, that's what you base your platform on.
As opposed to allowing the voters that put us in these seats to make those determinations. The voters in my community are very clear that they want crime rid out of their communities. But
look at her eyes. These are all talking points, premeditated, pre-rehearsed, preordained, pre-programmed. Look at where her eyes are. She's not looking at the camera. She's not looking at Rachel Maddow. She's reading from cue cards in an interview. You don't even have any faith. You can't even, this is how little she cares about the people of Fulton County. This is how little she cares about the people, the constituents. She can't even speak from her heart. She has zero authenticity. She has her assistant draw up cue cards and talking points, probably that were handed down by Kami Kamala, probably that were handed down by the Oprah, Clinton, Obama woke mafia.
They want it done both by removing violent offenders, which is what we have done. We've gone after gangs and we've worked with our police departments to do so. But they also want second chances for low-level offenders, and we have done those programs. What is so ironic is although it's only 14 of the 50 DAs in the state of Georgia, most of the citizens report to our jurisdictions. So although we're smaller in number than the other 36, most of the population has elected these minority DAs to serve them and has trusted their judgment. But apparently we now need daddy to tell us how to do our job.
The man has been indicted.
Okay, wait a minute. Again, she goes to this daddy thing, and listen to the way she talks. And why in the world did Mad Cow laugh at that? Why would you laugh at that? What's funny about that? If it's bothering you so much, where's the humor? Oh, but now daddy's going to tell us. Who's daddy? I don't understand who's daddy. Who is daddy? Why are you calling him daddy? If you have zero respect for him and you think this is completely out of order, why are you who's daddy? It doesn't make any sense.
By a federal grand jury for allegedly threatening Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. He said to be formally.
They represent a small fraction of
So now she's talking about the people that came after
to
her.
undermine and impugn and stymie her work and smear her personally. This level of sustained public attack is not usually the price of entry for doing your job as a district attorney, nor should.
No. It's not the price of entry for doing your job correctly, but it is the price of entry when you're a corrupt thug and crook. I mean, this is insane. Not one clip, not one shred of evidence, not one actual balanced reporting here of saying, okay, let's just kind of look at what are the claims that they're making. You know what? If you were really doing your job, Mad Cow, if you were really doing a good job being a objective, conscientious reporter, you would say, okay, Miss Willis, here are the 5-6 things that they are claiming that you did wrong. Let's go through each one of these. And do you mind speaking on these and commenting on these? And what do you have to say for yourself? You keep saying that they keep going after you for the wrong reasons, for reasons that aren't true. Well, give us some help here. Can you give us context? Can you disprove any of these charges for us now here? No, of course she doesn't do that. Softball questions backed by a narrative that is totally conjured out of thin air. It means nothing. You're using platitudinous language. It's handed down from the consortium, from the powers that be. Cringe, total cringe.
Should be in a country where the rule of law is supposedly the rule. The ability of prosecutors and judges to do their jobs without fear is a fundamental test of our democracy.
If she was doing her job, but she wasn't, Mad Cow.
Whether you like the Georgia criminal case against former President Trump or not, Fani Willis is one of the bellwethers for the rule of law in this country. Back with.
Whoa. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fani Willis is the what? Did she just say? Wait a minute. I want to look up. Somebody look up what bellwether means. What the hell is she talking about? Here's another stupid, meaningless $8 million word that probably a 10-cent word would have. What? Bellwether? Bellwether? What does that mean? Bellwether. We're a passionate bellwether is a leader or an indicator of trends. In politics, okay. In politics, the term often applies in a metaphorical sense to characterize a geographic region where political tendencies match in microcosm those of a wider area, such as that of the result of an election in the former region might predict So in economics, a bellwether is a leading indicator of an economic trend. Hold on a second. I got to hear that again. What did you call her?
Of our democracy. Whether you like the Georgia criminal case against former President Trump or not, Fani Willis is one of the bellwethers for the rule of law in this country. Back with us now is the full.
She just called Cash Money G crook, stealer, thief, liar, perjurer, corrupt district attorney's office, polluted district attorney's office. Miss, it's a lie. It's a lie. No. You guys are telling a lie. I don't use checks. I drink Grey Goose. He likes wine. That's who you're calling a bellwether of legal acumen? Am I nuts? Am I nuts, Nez Nation? There are actual liberal white women out there who are applauding right now. There are actual liberal white women who are subscribed to Rachel Maddow, thinking she is a genius. Am I what? Holy macadamia nut.
Fulton County District Attorney, Ms. Willis. Ms. Willis, I was interested to see in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution today, there were 3 Democratic state senators who published an opinion piece saying, quote, "We are witnessing a concerted effort by Trump and MAGA Republican politicians to cast doubt on the legitimate and strong Fulton County election interference case by attacking the prosecutor. It's an effort that takes advantage of every avenue of government power to which Trump's allies have access. Their goal, delay accountability for Trump's alleged attempt to illegally overturn a presidential election." This strikes me very close to my heart because I feel like this is one of the first times I've seen people standing up for you on this point. I wanted to ask how it...
Get ready, folks. It strikes really near and dear to Mad Cow's heart. Uh-oh. We're in for it now. Incoming.
Strikes you. Do you agree with their assessment of what's going on?
Well, as you know,
she doesn't even look at her stumble and mumble. I don't really understand what you just said. Can you speak my language? Can you speak the language of a thug?
let's start with the federal government and Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan has time after time after time attacked my office with no legitimate purpose.
If you love Jim Jordan right now, give me a yeah in the comments, please. I love him.
Anyone who knows Jim Jordan's history knows that he only has the purpose of trying to interfere in a criminal investigation.
Especially one that's corrupt and run by you, Cash Money G. No, if anybody who knows Jim Jordan knows, he's usually on the side of right. Is he human? Yes. Does he get some wrong? Yes. Is he wrong now? Definitely not.
He has now turned his tricks to, he's going to look at grant programs, which I invite him to do, and we have complied with his subpoenas.
No, you haven't. She has not. She stole money from kids. She stole money from kids. Grant money that was supposed to fund youth programs, she stole. You heard what Christian Weiss Smith said at the beginning of this broadcast. She stole $500,000 and went to where, ladies and gentlemen? Where did she go, Nez Nation? Take a trip with me in a place called Coca. You know the song.
But yet he continues his attacks to try to interfere in a criminal investigation, while his jurisdiction has one of the worst crime rates.
Wrong.
Has poverty issues.
Wrong.
And not one time has he used his position to try to investigate people who are attacking me and attacking others legitimately doing their jobs.
Wrong.
Making him illegitimate in his position.
Wrong.
And it's disgusting. And so I bring that up at
everybody type wrong in the comments right now. Replay viewers, you too.
The federal level, because now at the state level, they've decided to follow this clown's lead. And they want to now try.
Whoa. Did you guys just hear that? Did you guys just hear that? Boy, you're doing a great job, Cash Money G, of proving to the world that you are an upstanding, ethical, professional, exemplary conduct prosecuting district attorney. Did you just call a member of Congress, an actual senior ranking member of Congress, a clown, like you're some house party? Does she have a red cup on her desk right there? Is there a keg nearby, or is there some Grey Goose nearby? Hold on, let's rewind that. Are you kidding me right now? Did she just literally say that? Did she just call our good boy, our good man, Jim Jordan? Did she just call our good man, Jim Jordan, a clown? Hold on a second. Hold the phone.
To follow this clown's lead.
Whoa.
And they want
I
to investigate people who are attacking me and attacking others legitimately doing their jobs, making him illegitimate in his position, and it's disgusting. And so I bring that up at the federal level because now at the state level, they've decided to follow this clown's lead.
Whoa. Clown. Yeah, that's real professional. Yeah. So are we seeing a pattern here, Nez Nation? Are we seeing a pattern? Can you imagine? This is just the way we're only catching, I can't even talk. We're only catching this kind of behavior on camera. Can you imagine how she acts? If this is how she is on live national television, if this is how she is in that disqualification hearing, acting a total fool, can you imagine? Let me know in the comments. How do you think she acts when there's nobody around? How do you think she acts when there's no cameras around? How do you think she treats her employees? How do you think she treats her clients? How do you think she treats her colleagues when there's no cameras around? Can you imagine the judges, the other attorneys, the defendants, the plaintiffs? Can you imagine?
And they want to now try to interfere in an investigation. And it's not legitimate either. And so it shall fail, and it's not going to go anywhere. But they are trying to attack me at every level. As you know, today is an exciting day for me because I'm on a ballot tomorrow, and I have a Democratic challenger, and I plan to win and win big tomorrow. But I also have a Republican challenger coming up in November who's unqualified, been practicing law for less than 4 years, has never practiced criminal law, but has already got PACs supporting her, already has the National the National Republican Party, as well as the local Republican Party supporting her.
And let me ask you this, Cash Money G, who's supporting you? Because you're surely not acting alone. You're not isolated from the woke mind mafia. Oprah's not sending you checks. Obama's not sending you checks. Michelle ain't sending you checks. What about Kami Kamala, who's now her net worth is upwards of $50-80 million? Pushing up Daisy's Pelosi, who's worth $200 million on a $200,000 government salary. Somehow she accrued all that wealth. She's not sending you checks. Who paid for your film trailer, your theatrical Hollywood studio political film trailer? Who paid for that? There is no way that trailer costs less than $1 million, if not more. Who paid for that? That come out of one of your jars underneath your house? You got a glass jar with $1 million in it under your house? Cash Money G? I don't do checks. Excuse me. I don't do checks. I don't have a checkbook. I only do cash. Y'all got Grey Goose or not?
And so I am thankful to those 3 Democrats who stood up for what is right. But I am at a point where I need Fulton County voters to get out and vote. I need people around the country to support me, big and small, to say that we are.
Who in the world is going to support your ass? Who in the world in their right mind is going to support? You want me to send you money? Now you're asking me for money? Are you out of your damn mind?
Are going to be a country that still believes in the rule of law. We are not.
Once you're behind bars, believe me, you're going to get a lot of new believers.
Going to allow people to be attacked while they do their job. Having prosecutors that are free from interference and are allowed to just look at cases, look at the facts, and if people broke the law to bring charges, has to go on for us to live in a free society. The sad part, though, for all of them, Ms. Maddow, is it doesn't matter how many times they attack me. I am not going to be broken, and I am going to still be standing here doing my job lawfully.
Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, I know it's a very busy time with the primary tomorrow and with everything going on in your life and the slings and arrows that you are dealing with. Thank you for being willing to talk with me and my audience tonight.
It doesn't matter how many times you attack me. It doesn't matter how many times you catch me in the act of doing something criminal, something against the law. It doesn't matter how many times you catch me putting my hand in taxpayers' money jar and stealing money from them. I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing. That's the translation right there. I mean, wow. You denigrate the intelligence of the American public. You denigrate your challengers in a really callous, oh, I've got a Republican challenger who's unqualified. She hasn't been doing law for 4 years. She hasn't been doing anything. She's unqualified. She doesn't know what she's doing. I'm going to beat her ass. This is why I titled this an unapology tour. I mean, this is like the opposite of what you would hope. Somebody who, P. Diddy apologized. He didn't mean it, but he apologized. You see apology videos all the time. Tom Brady, you see apology videos all the time and yes, of course, they're all fake and they don't mean it probably, but at least they do the right thing and issue one. This lady is just going on. She's doing the exact antithesis. She's going the opposite direction. She is going full head on, savage train mode, full steam ahead. I'm going to rip all you to shreds, and I'm going to continue being Cash Money G. Love me or hate me. And I'm going to continue going after Trump because that's the only way that I get any recognition. That's the only way that I get any attention. That is the truth. And shame on you. Shame on you, Rachel Mad Cow, because you should actually know better. I'm surprised you're not wearing a shirt with a big Ukrainian flag on it, Mad Cow, because everything that you did in this dangerous, unprofessional, unwarranted, anti-American broadcast, you actually and by the way, there's clips of this all over YouTube too. There's clips of this all over the internet, all over X, all over Rumble. There's clips of this everywhere of you calling her a bellwether, a known perjurer, somebody who yells at judges and acts completely unprofessional, forensic misconduct, going to churches, going to conferences, and polluting potential jury pools with slander, with highly, highly improper conduct, words, and language. Remember, district attorneys are supposed to be held at the highest standard. She has taken the highest standard, flipped it upside down, and actually dug a deeper hole. So I want to hear from you, but this is really absolutely shocking to me, and I really hope that everybody watching will share this with somebody that you know, especially your liberal friends. And please tap that thumbs up. You have no idea how much that helps us. The reason, and it takes less than a second. It's free. Do it right now, please. I'll wait. Replay viewers, live viewers, do it right now. Tap the thumbs up. We need everybody in America to see this. You're seeing somebody, a professional, a scholar, somebody who's studied language, communications, Aristotle's principles of rhetoric my whole life. And I am telling you, this message is pure evil. It is the most dangerous anti-American propaganda. I think Rachel Madcow is more dangerous to politics than any other political figure in America today. I truly believe that. Because she's propping up a thug, a obvious DEI hire. She's propping up a criminal who has turned our justice system into her own personal piggy bank, funneling taxpayer monies to go on vacation and hire people she's having an affair with, taking advantage of the system. Pure and simple. And then if you dare catch her, if you dare say anything, she plays the race card. Oh, you're just doing this because I'm black. Oh, isn't it funny how once a minority becomes district attorney, now you want to come after them. You didn't come after them before. Yeah, you're right. We didn't come after them before because they didn't do the crap that you did. We didn't come after them before because they didn't steal taxpayer money, because they didn't lie under oath. They didn't commit perjury. They didn't violate the law. They weren't criminals. That's why we didn't go after them. It has nothing to do with your skin tone. The reason I talk about this so much has nothing to do with something that you have zero control over. It has to do with you destroying America. You are a cancer, a disease, and I love my country more than anything. I'm sick and tired of watching the decay of my beautiful country right before my eyes. Race? How dare you? I come from immigrants. I was born and raised here, first generation. I come from immigrants with a slew of ethnicities and backgrounds. People of color, Caucasian, you name it. Native American, Italian, English, Welsh, Turkish, Middle Eastern. I have a very vast array background. It has nothing to do with something that a human being has zero control over. Content of character, not the color of your skin. It has to do with the content of your character, Cash Money G. And I've seen the content of your character just on camera, and I have been so immensely offended. I weep for the people who have to be around you when there's no cameras around. I can't even imagine how much of a train wreck you are when there's no cameras around. Boy, does that have to be a sight to behold. I'm going to give some shout outs to super chats, but I want to hear from you. What do you guys think of everything that we talked about? What do you think of the way that I classified Rachel Maddow disease and the dangerous rhetoric, the complete abomination of objective reporting? The fact that you broadcast that to the world, and by the way, I said the world, even though the content of her show is talking about America and the United States, and majority of her audience is probably the United States, MSNBC has a global platform. You don't think Vladimir Putin's watching this? You don't think leaders across the world are watching this? They're all watching this. What do you think of how I characterize the danger of that program, the danger of mad cow disease? Rachel Maddow, the danger of propping up a thug. We're seeing that over and over and over again. You know, in Los Angeles, which is not that far from me, I live in California. In Los Angeles, we're seeing a DA who does not prosecute anybody. Crime is at an all-time high. You look at Chicago, you look at New York with Mayor Eric Adams, DA do nothing Alvin Bragg. This is a cancer. DEI is a cancer. I guarantee you, if Cash Money G went through that disqualification hearing and all the evidence presented by the Pitbull Sadow and Company, if this was 10, maybe even, I would say probably 10 or 20 years ago, I guarantee you, not only would Cash Money G get disqualified, not only would she get disbarred, but she would face criminal prosecution. But because of this steady growth of this parasitic disease, America's worst idea didn't earn it. She's allowed to continue to wreak havoc. This is the mantra of my channel. I want to make patriotism viral because this is the greatest country on earth, and not on my watch. Everybody type that in the comments right now. Not on my watch. I'm not going to see this country fall on my watch without doing something about it. Not on my watch. No. No, sorry, Bob. Yes, I'm a father. I use language like that. So I want to hear what you guys think of that. I also want to hear what you guys think of the interview. What do you guys think of what Miss Crockett said? What do you guys think of what Christian Wise Smith, the Democratic challenger for the seat in Fulton County, what do you guys think that he said? What do you think of his thoughts on asking flat out whether Cash Money G should be recused? And I love it. Not on my watch. I love it. Thank you, Terry. I love it, Nick. I love it, K-Bean. Teresa. Tammy says not on my watch. Barbara says not on my watch. I love it. Yvonne Popovich. It's good to see you, Yvonne. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give shout outs to super chats and new members. And then we're going to do a 10-minute, maybe 10 minutes or so Q&A, members only. So I'm going to switch the chat. I'm going to switch the stream to members only as soon as I'm done giving shout outs to all the super chats, super stickers, and new members. So if you want to be a part of that, as well as get all sorts of other perks like a badge next to your name, special shout outs and live streams, access to our members only Discord, special giveaways. We gave away Amazon cards. My man, Captain Mike, got a shirt, a hat. Other people got shirts and hats, live stream giveaways for members only. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. It's all coming. It behooves you to be a member. It only costs you a cup of coffee a month. You spend more than that in 30 seconds when you go to Starbucks in the morning. Let's get our country back. Consider becoming a member. I'm going to still do a bunch of free stuff, but you get extra perks and you support America. You support us getting our country back. Oh, I love coffee. Don't you love coffee? Okay. Melanie Brown L. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. You rock. Thank you. I notice you're also a new member. Everybody give a round of applause to Melanie. Welcome, Melanie. It's so happy to have you here with us. I love it. Welcome. And congratulations on being a new member. Make sure you go to the community tab post, and I want you to make sure that you join our members only Discord. Welcome. $5 super chat from Dallas D. Never heard of her before. Wish I hadn't heard of her to this day. She's making professional Black women look bad. Exactly. I love the way you said that, Dallas D. She is making professional, every person of color look bad. That's why it pains me so much, Dallas D. It pains me so much when people, I get comments all the time. You're a racist. You don't like Black people. That's just insane. That's just pure insane. I have never judged another human being based on a criteria, based on something that you have zero control over. Never in my life. I think that is a shortcut to thinking. I think that is submental, zero intelligence way of judging people. Content of your character, not the color of your skin. I could not agree anymore. Thank you, Dallas D, for the $5 super chat. Sazafraz, you're amazing. Sazafraz with the $10 super chat says her new name should be Rachel Kowtow. Yes. I like that. I like that, Sazra. It's so good to see you. I always look forward to seeing you. I love your comments on the videos. I love hearing your perspective and your point of view. I just absolutely love it. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You're awesome. Bernie, holy macadamia nut. Bernie Cifoletti. It's so good to see you. Prego, bravo. Off camera, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Off camera, she's probably things I've tried to say, but you know who dismissed them. Well said, Bernie. Well said. And I cannot thank you enough. Cannot thank you enough for that $20 super chat. You are awesome. It's always great to see you. Bernie leaves amazing perspectives and amazing comments. That's another thing, too. When you become a member, you get top priority responses in the comments. So anytime you leave a comment on a video, you're going to get a response. VLen, welcome. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. VN just became a brand new member. Everybody give him a round of applause. Welcome, Vienne. Am I saying that right? Is it villain or Vienne? I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you so much. Welcome for being a new member. Don't forget, in the actual, speaking of that, I'm going to turn this into members only right about now. Welcome to the Nez Nation membership. And now we are members only on YouTube. If you are a subscriber on Rumble, you're also included in this chat too, if you're a subscriber on Rumble. If you're watching this somewhere else, come on over to YouTube and become a member. Welcome. It is so awesome to have you. Yes, Vilain, you rock. Fantastic. Fantastic. Look at all these members. So we are members only for the next 10 minutes. And I just want to hear from you guys and just chat and hang out with you guys. and see what's going on with y'all. How you doing? Good to see you, members. Make sure that you are in the, as a matter of fact, now that I have members only chat, let's see, I can put this in the comments now. Or actually, you know what, Mike? You can, because it's members only. You can put the link to our Discord now in the comments. Thank you, Jenny Jen. It's good to see you. So awesome. How are you guys doing? How has your week been? Let me know. It's so awesome to see you guys. Heather in the house. Good to see you. Awesome to see you here. That's okay. Not a problem at all. Thank you so much, Mike. We got to give a huge round of applause to Mike. Mike is literally the best mod in the business. He has been working his butt off, supporting the channel. He is in charge of the, I should say not in charge, but he's running the sort of Discord as well, keeping me informed, constantly keeping me updated, constantly asking me for info, intel. I just love it. Thank you so much, Mike. You're amazing. Papa, good to see you, Papa. Listen to the show at 2X, finally caught up. Great to see you, Papa. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Okay. Star.star, welcome. Why did Mershon delay trial till next week? That's a good question. I think because it's now getting to closing arguments and closing statements, and there's been a lot of stuff that they've been talking about, a lot of stuff that's been presented, and so that usually takes a little bit of time. So it's just kind of legal precedence that you give each side an opportunity to really gather all the evidence, gather all the information, all the intel, so that they can give the best closing statement that they can. That's a really important part of a trial. Closing statement, closing argument is the last, because this is what I like to call the principle of recency. What is the principle of recency? Most people, as a matter of fact, the majority of people, remember first what they heard last. That's the principle of recency. We talk about this in communications and public speaking as well, that you want to end, your speech, you want to end your arguments, your statements with a bang, because that is usually the first thing that they remember. So the principle of recency is a really common, it's a common component, especially in these kinds of proceedings. And so it would make sense that they give them enough time to make sure that they can do all the work that they need to make sure that their closing arguments are on point. Ivan Popovich just says, Prof, how do you think the trial of Trump will go? I mean, it should have been, great question, Ivan. It should have been a mistrial. It should have been a mistrial. I did a video on this, a couple of videos on this. Cohen is their star witness, which is insane. Cohen lied under oath. He's a serial perjurer. He lied during the trial. Dershowitz called this. He also admitted to stealing from this. So not only is he a liar, I don't know if you saw that post that I made in the community tab, but he's just a petty thief. And then also he admitted that he's in this for financial gain. If this is who the prosecution is hinging their entire case on, I don't know how this is not a mistrial. It makes zero sense. Zero. What do you think, Yvonne? And what does everybody think? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, Mike did a great job. He's awesome. Melanie says, I've been to court a few times as a witness. I've never seen a judge behave like Mershon. How can he get away with this? Yeah, that's a good point, Melanie. Yeah, he is so biased, and he seems to only favor the prosecution. I don't know how, if you have any legal acumen at all, you don't even need to have legal acumen. If you've heard everything that this amazing witness, Robert Costello, said, who was a Cohen's attorney, if you've listened to any of the testimony from Michael Cohen, any of the testimony, the lies from Stormy Daniels, how can you allow this charade to go on? Aha, there's the key. There's the key to understanding why this is allowed. It seems pretty obvious that the election is coming up. I know for a fact he knows out of all the sham trials that are being charged to the former president, he knows this is probably the only time they're going to get this guy before the election. The whole point is to make sure he's behind bars, which is only going to make his popularity go 100-fold. They're going to make him a martyr, and so many experts have agreed to this. They're going to make him a martyr, and he's going to win. It's going to seal the doom. It's going to seal the deal. He's going to win the election if they put him in jail. They'll probably convict him. I don't think he's going to get off. They're not going to let him go. He's not going to let him go. They're probably going to convict him, but there'll be no jail time. They'll just have their moment to put him in handcuffs. They'll have their photos that they're going to post all over their political ads, but it's all bubkus. It's all garbage. None of it is founded under any substantial basis whatsoever. Yeah, China baby, good point. You just need common sense. That's it. Star says, I predict conviction. The prosecution didn't prove the elements and the judge was so biased. Yeah, absolutely. Villain new member says, this entire case is fraudulent. The criminal is the witness. Well said. I agree. I completely agree with that. Yes. I love it. It's so good to see you guys. Guys, what's coming up on the horizon is obviously your boy Nez is going to keep you up to date on everything that's happening with this trial, closing arguments, verdict, everything. Also, everything that's happening with the primary election, every top current story, news media, breaking. You're going to get it here first. This is your one-stop shop. In the pinned comment is our free newsletter. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. Become a Nez Nation Insider, because all you have to do is literally put in your best email and you'll get everything right to your inbox. Even if you're subscribed and you follow us, you don't always get notified. And so this is sort of like your foolproof, fail-safe way of always being in the know. And so that's free. It's in this description of the video, also in the show notes, also in the pinned comment. Make sure you become a Nez Nation Insider today. Laura Tilford made it. How are you, Laura? Good to see you. Welcome. We're about to sign off here, but it's fantastic to see you. Yvonne says, I've been in law for over 20 years. Never has a judge said, pick a charge and we will go on that. The bias of the judge is unexcusable. Well said. I could not agree more. Thank you, Yvonne. I'm so happy you're here, Yvonne, giving us your legal expertise. Basil Beshkov. Judge Mershon, outclassed by Costello, pooped his pants. Reason for clearing the courtroom. Nice, Basil. I agree 100%. And thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You rock. Thank you, Basil. You're the best. I really appreciate that. It's nice to have you here. Yeah, that's the real question. That is the real question. Thank you, Star. Jenny says, election interference. Yeah. I mean, look, I don't want to hurl insults or hurl accusations that perhaps, are a bit extreme. But I mean, I've really thought about this a long time. I've looked at every aspect, the Jack Smith case, Letitia Big Shame James, the Georgia BS with Cash Money G, the J6 stuff. I mean, it just all reeks of one thing. And I'm not the only one. Don't take my word for it. You've got legal expert after legal expert, scholar after scholar, law professor after law professor. Anybody who's got any credibility has said the same thing. There's no basis. There's no grounds. This is all bubkus. Nada, nothing, see ya, cero, wouldn't want to be ya, hasta la pasta. See you next Sunday. And so it's really not far-fetched. It's not conspiratorial to say this is election interference. I mean, it literally seems like that's what it is. What else? Because here's the thing. I guarantee you, mark my words, bookmark this, save this, take a screenshot, take a screen recording, whatever you want to do. if the rest of the trials don't actually see the light of court before the election, I guarantee you they're all going to be dismissed. Mark my words. They are all going to be dismissed. The only point of bringing up something that happened 8 years ago and waiting until now to charge Trump right in an election year, hint, hint, the only purpose is to stop him from campaigning, is to stop him, period. They tried to take him off the ballot in Colorado and all these other states. They're doing everything in their power because they have no policies. They have no direction. They've got no strategy. They've got no blueprint or map for where to take the country. What is the right trajectory? All you have to have is critical discernment. All you have to have is a molecule of thought to figure this stuff out. That's all you have to have. It doesn't take a lot of intelligent thought. Oh, thank you so much, VN. Villain or VN says, Nez, you're awesome. My top 3 subscriptions. Oh, man, that really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Bernie says, Professor, do you think Mershon and Engeron are in cahoots with the White House and or other anti-Trumpers? I don't think this is isolated. I completely think, and there's actually proof. There's actual proof. And by the way, why in the world is Biden allowed to refuse submitting the audio tapes from the Hur investigation? Nixon wasn't allowed to do that. Nixon was forced to give up his Nixon tapes, his recordings. Why is Biden allowed to keep, and he under executive privilege, to hide the audio tapes? What does that tell you? He is incontinent. He is unfit for office. Period. Basile, you're the best. Another $20 super chat. Basile, thank you so much. Thank you. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. God bless you. You're thinking Biden. I'm thinking big picture worldwide globalists scared. Yeah. Well said. 100%. 100%. Donna, so good to see you. Donna says, I think it's all connected. 100%. So, I'm the last person on planet Earth. Look, I love my country. I bleed red, white, and blue. I love the United States of America. There's a reason why the entire world floods our borders. They don't flood anybody else's border. Do you see people flooding borders in Sudan? Do you see people trying to get into Germany? Do you see people trying to get into Argentina? No. Where do you see everybody trying to come and what country are they all dying to get it? You see people trying to flood the borders of China? No. Are people trying to die to get into Russia? No. Here, because this is the greatest country on planet Earth. Here. This is where they want to go because this is opportunity. It doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what gender you are, doesn't matter what color you are, what ethnicity, what religion. If you work your butt off, if you actually do the work, contribute to society, obey the law, and pledge your allegiance to the United States, you will have opportunities that you don't see anywhere else on planet Earth. Capital T true. That's the truth. And so I don't like to be conspiratorial. I don't like to point out that my government, I don't like to point out that people in power are corrupt, that people in power are taking advantage of their citizens, that people in power are trying to poison their citizens. I don't take any pride in that. But we have what I call the most consequential election of our lifetimes coming up in November. It is less than 6 months away. And you best believe your boy Nez is going to be producing content after content, video after video, holding these people accountable. Because the truth is the truth, and the truth is eternal. The truth is not good on Friday, bad on Tuesday. The truth is not good on Sunday, and then, well, by the time Monday hits, forget about it. No, the truth is the truth. The truth is eternal. And these principles of rhetoric, audience, purpose, message, ethos, pathos, logos, is a way of discerning that truth, looking at messages from every single aspect of our lives. looking at these people who are going to change the laws of our land, who are going to govern the great citizens of our land, who are going to be passing new legislature. It's a way of discerning that so we make sure that we make the best educated guess that we can. Nothing's perfect. Of course, nothing's perfect. But it blows my mind. There's actually people out there
about this.
Looking at this, there's actually people out there that look at this heathen, this cretin, with this completely manipulated narrative and nod their head and ask for seconds. There's actually people out there. That's the purpose of me doing this. This is absolute apparition. It's imagination. It's fantasy. It's fantasy land. It is lie after lie, corruption after corruption, false in every aspect. Thank you, Basil. Let's make America ours again. Yes. If you haven't already, tap that thumbs up. Please tap that thumbs up. Okay, I got to take off. I love you guys so much. I love you guys more than anything. You guys are the absolute best. Stick around, hit that like button, subscribe, follow, and I promise you, I'm going to bring you the best. I'm going to bring you my best. Nobody works harder than I do. I do my own due diligence. I do my own quantitative and qualitative research. I use what Ralph Waldo Emerson, what the great thinkers of America, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton. I use our American sovereignty, critical thinking, and critical discernment. And I bring that to y'all. And we collaborate. We share your comments, your suggestions, your thoughts, and mine. We collaborate and we get our country back. That's what it's all about. I love you guys more than you'll ever know. My birthday is December 27th. I'm a Capricorn, the great goat, the great contributor. December 27th is my birthday. I love you guys more than you'll ever know. Thank you so, so much. As always, may God bless you and may God bless America.